as we know, Doom Tower is a very, very important thing to focus. As you can see, I have done it. Now, a Doom Tower is something that usually takes a little bit of time, and there's a bunch of bosses that are honestly quite hard. And even though this is only normal, I managed to do the whole thing, which is pretty cool. Now, if we go over to the days played, I haven't really done much progress lately, but I've done about 47 days to do this, and I do it to full transparently say this is probably the easiest rotation in the game. I think that, this boss has never been that much of an issue. The spider boss is not that hard. The magma boss is probably the easiest one. Griffin's not that easy, but it's definitely not impossible. We got the Eternal Dragon again, and then a repeat of everything else. This is probably the easiest rotation, at least for me, and it has been done. So I just want to kind of go over the last fight, kind of go over certain things that went into this. And it is mostly just, if you want to get one of the best starts in Raid Shadow Legends, use the link in my description below to get a free legendary champion, Narma the Returned, as well as 3 amazing epic champions as you level up. Now, the way that you're going to do this is you're going to log out of Plarium Play on PC and uninstall. Then you're going to click the link in the description, register with a brand new email. Then you're going to launch Raid, complete the tutorial, and as you go to your inbox, you are going to be able to claim your first legendary champion. Next, you're going to get Anax, Uugo, and Mausoleum Mage as you level up. Please don't let this insane offer pass you by and click on my link now to get the start that you deserve. Having units like Geomancer, even though he's not fully skilled, he's missing 3 skills on his A3, his most important ability. I still did just abuse him, right? So I'm just gonna go in with the auto, and you'll just see a lot of support. So the general idea here is, we have our main DPS, which is Tholin and Geomancer, both dwarves, which is kind of interesting. Geo's more for like boss damage, and Tholin's more for wave clearing, but he also does some pretty good boss clearing himself. Then we have Python there, who's kind of like a cross between Duchess and I don't know what to say beyond that point. He's basically just Duchess in a different form. Duchess obviously very good, Python very good, and then Uugo's there for the debuffs and a little bit of support with some healing and some health. And then we got Rector as well for some healing and some reviving. We technically have 3 revivers on this team, but only 2 of them are really going to revive for most of this. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. As long as you can survive long enough for content like this, where I'm not really too keen on farming it super heavily, I don't think it's really the end of the world, purely because we can always, take as long as we want, because it doesn't matter. So I'm not too worried about this sort of thing. The only thing I'm actually worried about is the reviving. If Rector and Python go down and Uugo goes down before Tholin, then we kind of just lose. But we're just gonna auto it. This should just be a straight up auto. It'll take a while, but that's okay. As you can see, we're not really having too many issues. We are getting pretty damn low though, but Rector is a healthy man. So even though it's a girl. Anyways, Rector's very, very tanky, so I'm not really having too many worries about this. The only things that I'm worried about, once again, is my support units dying. So at this point, we're just gonna auto it, and this is the whole fight. So I'm gonna skip to the end and then maybe talk about it a bit more. And now reaching the end, everyone has died. And remember when I said it was a worry? Well, it's actually not, because Tholin just kind of solos. So Tholin obviously built very well. He's probably my best built DPS champion on my account. And he stands there and he does all the damage and he heals himself and he doesn't die. So my Tholin kind of just solos it. I know I talked it up like, oh, these support units this, support units that, but Tholin will solo it. So Tholin, monster, insane, single target DPS and AoE DPS, mostly because when there's a single target, it allows him to put a lot of his weakens out, which then allows him to take more turns. Despite doing AoE damage, he does a lot of damage single target, also making it easier to survive by lowering the opponent's stats while also increasing his own, and then increase attack on himself. He wasn't getting these very often because he kept getting his skill turns reduced or block active skills and all of that stuff. So he just ends up using his A1, taking a ton of extra turns, counterattacking because of his masteries, all of that, and just absolutely tearing through, healing himself continuously. His build pretty good. I could still level a couple pieces here, as you can see. Maybe I could put on something like a feral set, but I'm not really too much in a rush for that sort of thing. So I will say that even though I lose maybe 10% speed, I could always put on a little bit more speed if this does roll into speed, which it does. So if we look over here, we lose a tiny bit of attack, but we end up gaining pretty much everything else. So I think that might actually be better to put on. But either way, we have our Tholin here with a lot of HP for where I am, and max crit, as much attack and crit damage as I can put, and that's what we're running. Everyone else kind of doesn't matter, to be honest. And I can finally skill my Geomancer. Bam! I just wanted to show it without. Now we have the less cooldown, and it is actually guaranteed to get put out, which is huge. Now I can go over to like the guild bosses or the clan bosses, and we can hit brutal on quick battle, and this should be a 1 key. I'm not sure if it will be, but Geo should be the highest DPS, which he is. And we're getting 27 million on Void, which is obviously overshooting. So now we have our brutal 100% done, and then I just got to do nightmare and see how high I can get. Maybe speed tune a little bit, change up my team, because I am still using Kale, who needs to be swapped out for someone else. But for now, I'm happy. So I'm gonna obviously hit the other clan bosses like Hydra and Chimera, but for now we got Doom Tower. Now Doom Tower, I mean, I got Pythion for the full cleanse, I got Uugo for some cleansing, and then you just kind of kill the spider. Magma is so easy, and then Griffin I just put in this team and I autoed it and it worked. So now I'm gonna have to progress through hard, but it's also resetting soon, so I will probably just have to go through normal again and try to do the Dark Fae rotation and try to do the other rotation. Bommel is like impossible for me right now, and I think there was Scarab as well, which is very, very, very difficult for me right now. Scarab, I think, is the hardest one for me, so I do definitely need to prepare for those. And to do that, I gotta level up my champ. That's just how it goes, right? I have not done any leveling lately, so I need to 6-star Titus, I need to 6-star Pythion, I need to max out some other champions, and for now, I just haven't done that. So that's definitely on my list, and hopefully I'll be able to do that while continuously pushing Arena, because at the end of the day, this is gonna be the biggest roadblock, getting these points. It's gonna be like 3,000 points, which is gonna suck, but it is the next thing on the list. And I also just gotta do these, which are pretty easy, but I'm holding off because of these arena missions. So that's kind of everything I've been up to, mostly just Doom Tower and dailies, trying to get some summons through clan boss and all of that jazz, and hopefully we'll be able to take it to the next level somewhat soon. I got the champions to progress, I just don't have the time. We'll see what happens. Anyways, that out of the way, thank you guys for watching. That's kind of everything I wanted to cover. See you all in the next one. Destin signing out.